I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a PayPal request from Guillermo, who sent in a couple requests. I thank you so much once again, Guillermo, for that. And one of the requests he sent was for Monster Man from 2003. Now, first off, if anyone's ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, you can do so directly via my PayPal, but join my Patreon. Either way, it's perfectly fine. I really appreciate people who have done that. Thank you so much. 1 second. I know, great content, right? Me drinking water and clearing my throat. Hey, it's real. Now, this is a film I've seen years ago, and the thing of interest is directed by Michael Davis, who would go on to direct another film, which I absolutely love. I have reviewed on the channel. I think it's a criminally underrated film, and it's called Shoot 'Em Up with Clive Owen. I think Shoot 'Em Up is easily one of the more underrated films in the past. Well, I guess by now, at least 15 years. No, yeah, I'll just say 20. Last 20 years. If say like, what are your top 10 underrated action films? Shoot 'Em Up is on there. And sadly, that was the last film Michael Davis directed. Whether that was by choice or not by choice, I don't know. But this is a film he did before that, and he wrote, I believe, as well as directed this. Now, this is a film that I don't hate, but it has a lot of issues, so I can't say I'm a big fan of the movie either. This is one of those movies I could see someone doing a remake of, because I think it's an interesting enough concept, and there's stuff that could be improved. Just the concept, you have these two guys, two buddies, you have the sort of more nerdy, geeky guy, bit of a virgin, and then you have his buddy who's more outrageous and outlandish, and they're friends, but one guy fucks with the other guy, and they're going to this wedding because the geeky guy wants to profess his love to this girl, even though she's about ready to get married, and he's like, yeah, nothing will change, but I need to get it off my chest. I need to at least do something. And while they're on the way, one of the issues I have with it is the buddy, the comic relief, I don't know what you call it. There's the lead and there's his buddy. His buddy, he's very annoying. He's very irritating. And granted, there are times where he got a couple smirks out of me, but there's other times where either the way he's acting or really the way his character's written, he's saying stupid lines like, hey, you know a girl's pubic hair is like her hood ornament? Or they're in a bar and he sees the other people in there enjoying a monster truck rally, and he's spouting off, the forces of stupidity are far away in our intelligence. Pea-brains actually enjoy this? How are these hillbillies going to change unless someone points out how lame-ass they are? The guy's just a fucking asshole, and he's an annoying fuck. I think one of the things you could improve is if that character was better, less annoying, more funny. I mean, hell, they kind of did that better in Joyride, where Steve Zahn made some mistakes, but he wasn't that irritating or annoying to me. So like Steve Zahn in that film, in Joyride, that was fairly well done. Here, bit over the top with making this character so outlandish, and then again acting like an idiot. And the movie does borrow elements from Joyride. It borrows elements from Jeepers Creepers. It borrows elements from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just, again, I like the concept where these two guys are on the way, and from time to time they get chased by this villain in a monster truck. And then when you do see the villain, it's this stitched up face, like stitches all around. Pretty interesting design. I'm sure if you could find the cover, the poster for this, they kind of showcase, kind of spoil it on the poster. But it's cool. I mean, two guys being chased by a Leatherface type of villain, but he drives a monster truck. And you get some... The reason I don't hate the film is I don't mind the lead guy for what he is. I don't mind the concept. It went at a good enough pace. And the finale was fun enough, where you got some good over-the-top gore. It doesn't end on a stupid note or a downbeat note or a depressing ending. Again, the comic relief, there were moments that made me smirk about him. There were moments that made me grin about him. But they needed to ease up on that character. And again, there's a few others. But he just keeps doing stupid stuff, the buddy character. When they get to a gas station, for example, and they realize the guy's there with his monster truck, the buddy sneaks and pisses in the fucking top with the lid open, pisses into the monster truck. And I'm going... And then you find out there's much more going on, which that was the more interesting bit of the plot. And that's what I mean. On a positive side, at times this is a slightly more amusing vibe for a B movie. You know, there are some entertaining bits of dialogue. I've been waiting my whole life to fuck up like this. Along the way, they meet this female hitchhiker, which kind of, you know, reminds me of Joyride, where these two guys, they get chased by someone, and then ultimately a woman comes to the fold, so it's these three people. A little bit too much like Joyride, now that I think about it. How do I continue without spoiling it? Let me go into spoilers starting now. Spoilers. What you come to find out is the bad guy's chasing these three. You get a pretty fun and gruesome moment where there's this dead body in their car. They realize it's too late. The monster truck is going. The buddy gets trapped in there with the dead body, and the truck is going over the car and is squishing the dead body onto the buddy's face. And I thought that was a gruesome but darkly humorous sequence. Also, I'm like, you fucking deserve for being a dumbass, dickhead. And then you're led to think that something else happens and that maybe he's dead, but spoiler alert, he's not. So the lead dies with the girl. One thing leads to another, they get to this place, realize he's fucked, turns around, and I actually like this twist. I think when I first saw this, I did not see it coming. The female hitchhiker is actually with this group of villains. I guess now that I think about it, it's a Chainsaw Massacre type of vibe. So the hitchhiker, who is a villain, Hitchhiker and Chainsaw Massacre, so Hitchhiker here. But I just, because I'm so used to movies being, okay, they meet the girl, it's, the girl is, either she becomes a hero or something else happens, or they, love story happens. Something I've seen a lot in B movies. But the fact that she's with one, the bad guys, there's a guy who needs body parts, and so that's what the monster truck guy is doing. He steals body parts from people. He'll run someone over and then steal their body parts because one of his kin needs body parts. And the needing body parts remind me a little bit of Jeepers Creepers. Also with the type of vehicle, granted Jeepers Creeper, it didn't drive a semi-truck, but it was a more bigger vehicle than our lead characters. And that throughout the film, it was all about this ritual for this lead guy to use his torso, which is a little bit of supernatural black magic, whatever the fuck they were doing, because we need your torso for our kin. That's the last piece. And we've had this ritual, so you and your buddy with that RV, and you didn't know there was a dead body in there, but that was part of the ritual, and you needed to be deflowered, and our hitchhiker lady did that for you, and all this other weird stuff happened. But you get some nice gore. You get one person gets cut in half, one person gets a little cut in the neck. You get some humorous moments where the lead stabs someone with like this little pencil. That's all he had left when he was riding before. He only had this little pencil left, and he stabbed the guy in the eyes. I don't mind the look of the stitched together main villain. I liked the way it ended. I thought that was, I think that's why I'm not as angry as maybe I should have been, because I liked the way it ended. I liked the whole finale scene. I thought it was actually kind of a bit different, where the girl was not the love interest, but she was with the villains and she just killed. So it just made things a little bit interesting. How this DT guy was able to stand up for himself, and granted, it's not Hills of Eyes remake badass, but you know, at least does a little bit of something here and there. And then when he gets outside, his buddy is alive and hits the other guy, the stitched up guy with the monster truck. And he's like, hey, you want to drive? And I thought this bit was pretty funny, where the lead guy just keeps rolling over the fucking Leatherface wannabe over and over, and it goes from nighttime to fucking daytime, and he's still doing it. And the guy's like, wait, I think it's done. And there's like nothing left but like little bits of meat and just blood. That it made me smirk. And that's what I mean. There's some fun elements throughout it. I liked the ending. I don't mind the lead. I didn't mind some bits of the plot. I didn't mind its humorous, amusing vibe as a B movie. It's not a film that's taking itself seriously at all. I do think the director refined that sense of humor in Shoot 'Em Up. I do think he did a better job with that. I think this is him sort of getting his toes dipped into movie making, and he improved in Shoot 'Em Up. But that's what I mean, like, even if the director himself wanted to remake his own movie, I'd be fine with that. Keep the general gist of the story, just, you know, fix up a bit of the humor to make it a bit more laugh-a-loud funny. Maybe fix the dialogue a bit from time to time here and there. Don't have the buddy character be so aggravating in chunks of the picture. And I think you really have something. I think you really have something other than, it was a time waster. You could elevate it to a very strong B movie. Or a strong movie in the vein of a Tremors or that kind of movie. You know, I think this does have the potential. It just falls a bit short. Because again, the dialogue, I said one of the first big bits of dialogue is, you know, a girl's pubic hair is like her hood ornament, so the way they shave it is like, I'm like, come on, man. It's like a guy who just got out of high school trying to write, oh, let me write this and funny. There are some bits that are funny, but there's a lot of bits that aren't. So I do think a chunk of the humor misses the mark. I think the buddy character could have been toned down a bit. With that said, I mean, again, I think the plot was fun enough. It was a fast enough pace, and the ending was satisfying. So, considering some of the other films I've seen recently, this is one of those films that doesn't make me that mad. I don't think it's great, but it doesn't make me too mad. So, those are just my thoughts on Monster Man. But again, it's one of those films that could be due for a remake. That's just me. But thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.